This is Italy, a country that is soon going to disappear from the world map. This is a village in Italy where once thousands of people lived, but today it is completely deserted. And in Italy, there are about 6,000 more such villages that have been entirely abandoned in recent years. Similarly, this is a very famous 300-year-old school in Italy where hundreds of thousands of Italian children studied, but today there isn't even a single child left. Teachers in Italy are being fired because there are no students in classrooms. In 2015, Italy's health minister himself said that Italy is a dying country, and the reason is that children are simply not being born there. Italy's total fertility rate has fallen to its lowest level in the last 50 years. According to predictions, Italy's population will shrink drastically in the coming years. The Italy that was once famous all across Europe for its large families is now at a point where, in the next few years, it will enter an economic dark age. Italy's real estate will collapse because there will be houses, but no one to live in them. The army won't have young recruits, factories and industries won't have labor. In the next 10 years, Italy's economy is expected to collapse completely. Today, the average age in Italy is 48 years, while in Pakistan it is 21 and in India 28. About 24% of Italy's population is over 65 years old, and this number is continuously increasing. But the question is, how did Italy reach this stage? 100 years ago, Italy's birth rate was 5.2, and until 1970 it remained above 2. So, what happened in the last 50 years? And this isn't just Italy, similar trends can be seen in other European countries and even Japan. The three main reasons for Italy's population decline. Agricultural past to industrial economy. A century ago, Italy was mostly an agricultural country. Most people were farmers. For farmers, the most important thing was having extra helping hands, so they used to have many children who worked together on the farms. The more children, the more earners. Then industrialization began, salaries came in, and now two children could earn as much as 5 children did earlier. After World War II, when Italy recovered, it introduced a social welfare system. Now children's education and health were the state's responsibility, not the parents'. So there was no incentive to have many children. Since 1950, Italy's birth rate kept falling. This same trend has been seen globally except Africa. Since the 1980s, fertility rates across the world have been declining. Government policies discouraging births, certain Italian laws discourage young people from having children. For example, there is a concept called blank resignation. Every woman has to sign it before getting a job. This means if she becomes pregnant, the company can fire her without any notice or reason. In a country where 41% of women are working, such policies make women hesitant to have children. Italian families delay marriage and children due to job concerns. Another issue is that Italy, unlike the US and many European countries, does not grant citizenship by birth. If immigrants have a child in Italy, that child doesn't automatically become Italian. Because of this, many immigrants, after staying for some time, move to Northern Europe where their children can get nationality. For a country already suffering from a lack of young people, such laws make the situation worse. The Italian government is now considering revising these laws because if even immigrants keep leaving, Italy will be left only with retired elderly people and no young workers to pay taxes or generate pensions. The health sector will also collapse because there won't be enough doctors and nurses to care for the aging population. Italy's job culture. According to OECD research, 70% of Italians aged 18 to 34 are financially unstable. 43% of jobs are non-permanent. In the past 10 years, Italy has faced 3 recessions. Italy's debt-to-GDP ratio has risen to 145%, meaning for every €1 earned, Italy borrows €1.45 to cover expenses. Italy's economy is in such bad shape that even Domino's Pizza shut down all its outlets in the country due to lack of customers despite pizza being invented in Italy. In such conditions, young people are financially pressured and they avoid the extra cost of raising children. Solutions examples from other countries. Other European countries like France and Sweden faced the same crisis but solved it through policies. France gives subsidies to parents depending on how many children they have. Sweden in 1974 became the first country to introduce parental leave, making it mandatory for both mother and father to take 16 months of paid leave after childbirth. That's 1.5 years. This helped Sweden stabilize its birth rate. Italy needs to relax its immigration laws, protect female employees from policies like blank resignation, and provide support for young families. If Italy cannot raise its fertility rate back to 2.1 in the next 5 years, it risks national collapse. This may sound surprising because scientists have long been warning us about population explosion, predicting that world population would reach 16 billion in the next 100 years. But the reality is the opposite. Since the 1980s, the birth rate has been falling worldwide, even in Pakistan and India. In 1990, Pakistan's birth rate was 6.3, but today it is down to 3.4. The world population is expected to peak in the next 20 years, and after 2050, it will begin to decline. Countries like Japan, Italy, the US, the UK, France, Germany, and other Western nations will be the biggest victims of this population collapse.